we read, "Be not haughty with me, but come to me in submission," as Muslims. That you should not exalt yourself against me and come up to me as Muslims or in surrender.
Well, here I put two different translations, the Sahih and Dr. Ali. I just wanted to show that how this is sin. The sin plays around with two options. Like a Muslim is on one side, it's a religion. It's a Muslim with a capital M. It's a person who is a part of the groups of people who believe in Islam. And on the other hand, a Muslim is submission. So they like to play around with these two options. No, he's a Muslim. No, he's just submitting. No, Solomon wasn't a religious Muslim, but he was actually submitting to Allah. Well, every religion, people submit to their own God. So it's not that something Islam invented, but they like to play around with these two options. So Sahih International said, come to me in submission, and in brackets he puts as Muslim with a capital M. And Dr. Ali does the opposite. He said, come up to me as a Muslim, and in brackets he puts in surrender. So you see how the sin plays with the meaning of the word, rather that can go either to submission or to belonging to the religious group that believe in Islam and jihad and Sharia. You understand?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Also, I looked into masalama. It means perfection, which is interesting in the Syriac. So that's my current working theory on where Muslim actually comes from. There is no U sound there. That's absolutely not okay to say Muslim when you have mim salama, right? SLM. Regardless, I mean, it's very clear how they're playing with the whole identity here, right? It's either, like you're pointing out here with the two different translators, it becomes a factional identity, some sort of, let's say, a religious identity as Muslim proper, which most likely didn't even exist in the 7th century, right?
Exactly.
Or even 8th century, rather.
So this is the sin.
Exactly.
We're watching the sin. So in the Haggadah story, of course, there is no such thing as Islam. Again, this is we're still in the letter part. She's reading the letter. Now then, if you will come and pay me homage, and I will accord you honor greater than the accords to any of the kings who attend me. But if you refuse to come and pay me such homage, I will dispatch potentes with their legions and rise against you. Do you ask, who are King Solomon potentes? What's that potent?
I actually have no idea. This is the word.
Is kings, generals, people of power, basically the people under his command.
Okay, anyway, he described his legions. The beasts of the field are the potentates, the birds of the heaven, and the riders, the spirits and the demons, and the night harpies are the legion who will strangle you in the beds within your houses. The beasts of the field will slay you in the fields, and the birds of the heaven will devour the flesh from off your bones. So it's a very harsh description of Solomon, but in no way it says to her, become here to join my religion, or else I will do this to you. His agenda is that he demands her honor. So I think what the Jewish Haggadah is trying to convey is the amazing power that Solomon had. It's through this description, he said that all the kings of the world were afraid of him, and he had such amazing power. And through this elaborate description, it emphasizes how powerful he was. But in no way, anywhere in this agenda, he said that he demands of her to become to be a believer in the Torah of Moses. If you understand, is it clear from what I said?
Yes, and also I want to highlight how I haven't seen this. I'm seeing this for the first time. This seems to me like the prototype for the legends that surround Muhammad sending letters that say, essentially what we derive from this, do not fight against me, but come to me in submission, whatever, right? These types of like letters of like a threat, like come to me and I will honor you, but if you do not, I will, ravage the lands. And this, like, it seems actually prototypic of the later sin retellings, essentially, where Muhammad is the one sending out these letters, which go along the lines of come and pay homage, or bad things will happen.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm not. As I said before, that some of parts of the stories might as well be from different cultures that the rabbis incorporated into the legends, because they saw this, because other cultures in Ethiopia and Arabia had legends about this queen, and probably they saw the story and they said, "Wow, that's nice. Maybe we'll adopt this to our story too." Because it's not that it's written by the rabbis. It's maybe the rabbis heard stories from the Bedouins, heard stories from the Ethiopians, and said that sounds great for us. We'll
assimilate
similar to our story and tell it around and to tell the people. Sounds nice to tell a story with this kind of descriptions.
Yeah, and like Kash said, it's very archetypical, actually, because this happened throughout history everywhere, when one kingdom will go to the next kingdom and say, hey, pay me homage and we will leave you alone, otherwise we will destroy you. This one then becomes obviously really cool with the animals and the demons and all of those things.
Yes.
But also is sort of reminiscent to the story of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, because of that thing where you have a woman in charge of an actual country, and then as opposed to just having two barbarians saying, I'm stronger than you. So this one is the whole almost romance going through. So you
have this incorporation of, you have this motifs of the demons and the animal that Solomon controlled, which are Jewish origin, and then you incorporate like this militaristic and powerful emperor speech, like we just read now. It's an incorporation of two genres. So for me,
it's also the marriage of empire. It's telling the story how people groups who come from different empires can actually become one empire, and it provides the assimilation story in a sense. Like there was once the kingdom of Sheba and the kingdom of Solomon, and they became one. It's that kind of thing.
It could be a lot of things. That's the thing that we don't know. But one thing we sure know, that the story was going around with different cultures in different versions. And it was not came down from Allah, from the sky, and it definitely as historical facts.
Hey, kafir! Yeah, it sounds good to me. It seems about right. The parallels are unmistakable.
It could be also Arab, so I'm not taking away from their credit from Arabs and Bedouins that as storytellers, because they are very good at that. So it could be also an Arab tradition, but not Islamic, and definitely not historic or Allah ascended. Yeah. So for me, we can go to the next slide.
Okay, cool. So still on Surah 27, verses 32 to 34. So now we have Sheba talking, and she's saying,
eminent. No, just the people should know that this part, she now goes to her advisors.
Okay,
she addresses her advisors.
She's addressing her advisors, and she's telling them, "O eminent ones, advise me in my affair. I would not decide a matter until you witness for me." They said, "We are men of strength and of great military might, but the command is yours, so see what you will command." She said, "Indeed, kings, when they enter a city, they ruin it and render the honor of its people humbled, and thus do they do."
So again, also in the Haggadah, she addressed this invitation with her advisors. Then she said for her counselors and princes, whom she asked, "Will you not assent to the request King Solomon dispatched to me? They replied, "We know nothing of King Solomon, and we owe no homage to his royal power." However, she felt no confidence in them and paid no need to what they said. So exactly the same frame of story. She goes to the advisors. They tell her one thing, and she's not very confident of what they said, and she decide not to take their advice. Both versions.